Hello everyone and welcome to NatCan's webinar in Children's Week. My name is Lisa Waters. I'm the Deputy CEO at NatCan and I'd like to welcome you all today. But before I start, I would like to acknowledge and pay my respects to the Anawin people, the traditional custodians of the land where I'm today. I'm in New South Wales in a place called Armidale, a little bit chillier than where most of you are. I'd like to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. And I'd also like to acknowledge all the elders past, present and emerging from all the lands that you may be watching today, and acknowledge all the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island people watching and participating today. I think it's really important in Children's Week to acknowledge children, because that's what the week's all about, and that's where culture will live on. So welcome to NatCan's Children's Week webinar. It's a wrap, showcasing examples from the NT Acts of Kindness. Before we get started, you're in listen only function and you can't turn your cameras on or you can't turn your microphones on. If you're not familiar with the GoToWebinar platform, there's a control panel on the right hand side of your screen and there's some contact details from the NatCan people if you run into any difficulties. So without further ado, happy Children's Week. Children's Week this year's been a wonderful opportunity to promote the rights of children and young people and to celebrate their capacity to actively contribute to the world around them. Children's Week for NatCan has also been about celebrating kindness. Being kind is good for our health, good for those around us, and especially good for children. And best of all, it's contagious, as I'm sure we're going to hear from some of our panellists today. During National Child Protection Week this year in September, up in Darwin, NatCan with Tick and Kate Everett from Dolly's Dream launched the NT Acts of Kindness Challenge. It really, to highlight the power of kindness as a tool for creating safe and nurturing environments for children. And now, as part of Children's Week, 2 months later, we're excited to be sharing some of the real life territory tales of kindness by those who have shared them, experienced them, and spread kindness to others. We'd still love to hear from you with any of your acts of kindness, so please send them through. Excuse me. So to start us off, I'd like to introduce Brad Langeland. He's from Dolly's Dream. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here today, but it's important to hear from him. So we'll hear from Brad now.
Hi, I'm Brad Langeland from Dolly's Dream. On behalf of all the team here and Kate and Tick Everett, I want to thank you for hosting the NT Acts of Kindness Challenge and for taking part in what has been a wonderful campaign. Kindness is certainly at the core of everything we do and everything we believe in. We believe that acts of kindness are one way to tackle bullying and also a way to bring together the community and get that sense of togetherness, which is actually more important than ever. With the year that we have had. Acts of kindness can be as big or as small as you want. It could be something like checking in on a family member or friend, asking a neighbour if they need help, cooking a meal for someone, supporting someone, doing a bit of work for a charity, or it could just simply be posting a positive comment online. Wouldn't it be great if we all logged into our social media accounts and were met with a wave of positive and kind comments. So thank you again for hosting this event and all the best for today's webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. And so if you don't follow Dolly's Dream, they've got lots of really inspiring posts that you can follow. So I'd also like to introduce NatCan's Northern Territory Manager, Merrin Looney, who has been coordinating the Northern Territory Acts of Kindness Challenge. She has been excitedly sharing some of these examples of kindness as they have come through with the NatCan team. So we're really excited to be able to share them with you. Mary is going to be talking to some of the recipients of the participants of the Kindness Challenge. So we'd love to just start with introducing Cherry Grant, who's the Assistant Director of the Early Learning Centre and Outside School Hours Program with the Mother Teresa Catholic Primary School in Zacoley in Palmerston. And with Cherry, we've got Amina, Nika and Holly, children who help drive these activities. So over to you, Merrin and Amina, Nika and Holly. and Jerry to hear about your acts of kindness.
Hello, girls. Thanks for joining us today. It's very exciting to have you here. And you guys submitted a really special act of kindness. Who'd like to tell us a little bit about what you've been doing and why?
We were fundraising for a boy who has cancer in the ELC by baking and giving them to parents.
Okay, so you were baking. What sort of things did you bake?
What sort of things did you bake?
Cupcakes and cookies.
Cupcakes and
wonderful. Okay. And what I heard you did lots of other things too. What else did you do? Who's got their hand up? What would you like to tell us?
What did you do? Nice and loud, yeah.
We tried hard to help Bryce to feel better.
That's so good.
Yes, nice. And you did a car wash too, did you?
Yes.
You want to talk about car wash?
We only washed 2 cars.
That's okay. That's good.
That's great. They would have been very clean cars.
They're all act of kindness. Well done. Yeah.
And
hang on, Marin. Yep.
We also raised awareness to other children in the school. And hopefully Bryce will be feeling better soon.
Oh, that's so nice. They also advised others in the school. And yeah, we all hope that Bryce is feeling better soon.
Oh, that's special. And I heard you you made lots of posters and things to promote your activities. What did they look like? What did you put on those?
Heaps of colour.
Wow.
And drawing.
Oh, nice. Yes.
And drawings, lots of colour and drawings.
Nice.
Were they big?
Yeah.
Wow, that's so good.
And how much money did you raise? You were raising some money to help?
$870.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful. Great job. That's fabulous. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about your act of kindness that you did?
We wrote a newspaper and gave them out to children and after school care, telling them about our stalls and what was happening to us.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, so they let the newspaper know, and just so everyone knew what was happening to Bryce. So lots of act of kindness up here.
Fabulous. Thank
Wow.
you.
I think it sounds like Bryce is very lucky to have some classmates like you guys. So thank you for sharing it. Is there anything else that you wanted to add?
I think the girls, I mean, the ELC and OSH children are all very kind to always think about others. It's part of our Mother Teresa way to have compassion, trust, honesty, and to help others, and that's our Mother Teresa way. So anything that we want to help about, like this week they're doing mission markets this afternoon. So Nika and Holly are also part of the mission markets. That will be, all the money will be sent to Cambodia. So and Nikki was making like artwork, popcorn. They're selling stuff this afternoon for the mission markets that will all go to Cambodian children. Yeah, so all the kids are very excited every time they have to help others or fundraise for other people. This group is just amazing.
Yeah. Well, you certainly put a smile on our faces, and from hearing about this challenge over the period of time, and seeing you all in person has made it really, really fantastic. So keep it up and keep spreading the kindness. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye. Merrin, I'll get you to stay there. And the next act of kindness that we'd like to share is about how students from Owen Springs School have been hosting bake sales each week at the Alice Springs Juvenile Detention Centre. The sales have been running since April this year to raise funds for canteen. So to hear a little bit more about this act, I'd like to introduce Joel Hone. He's the principal of Alice Springs School, and Pat Skinner, who's the Aboriginal Education Officer at Owen Springs. But they're going to share headphones, so you're going to have to bear with it. And we can do lots of action so that Pat can understand with us. So to hear a little bit more about it, the initiative, I'll hand you over to Merrin to speak.
Thanks, Lisa. So, Pat and Joel, welcome and thanks for joining us today. So, your act of kindness says that the program has been driven by the students at the school. Can you tell us a bit about how that's come about?
Yeah, definitely. So I'll just start off and then I'll hand over to Pat, who's our Aboriginal Education Officer, and she's it kind of has started with Pat actually, working with the students, and one of the students had an idea around you know, sort of giving back and contributing back to society, and they decided on cancer because that was something that had impacted some of them, and Pat has already been running cooking programs with the young people, and they thought they just put 2 and 2 together and were like, well, why don't we make some food and then sell it to people? The detention centre has lots of people that pass through it, and so we felt like there's lots of foot traffic that we could leverage in that. But I'll just pass over to Pat so she can answer your further questions.
Okay, thank you.
I'm here.
Yay, well done. So we've just heard a little bit about how it's come about. How did the students choose which charity that they wanted to support?
Well, I found a list of charities, but Canteen was the one that suited what they knew about, and so they went with something they knew involving young people, because they've all been affected in some way, you know, extended family with cancer, so that was their choice. And Canteen have been really good with us, supplying bandanas for the ones involved in the program and thank you certificates.
Wow.
And that goes towards when they go to court, goes towards them actually showing evidence that they're contributing back to the community.
And I guess some people might not know who goes to Owen Springs School. Can you tell us a little bit about who your students are?
They're young people that have made some really bad decisions and choices and mixed with the wrong crew. Our job is to educate them, not judge them. And by teaching them life skills like the baking and the cooking and everything we do here, it involves literacy and numeracy for the measurements and the timing and all that. So, yeah. So it is kids that have erred on the path, from the right path. So we've got to try and direct them back onto it.
So what's that been like for them to be involved in a program like this?
Oh, there's fights to who wants to go cooking. So because of the situation with the kitchen, we can only take a limited number out, 3 being the maximum, because it's a proper training kitchen we have. And to set up the stations, it's suitable for 3 students because we have to have a security person with us as well. And me.
And you, yes. And how many students would have been involved since April, I think it started?
Oh, we've been going since the start of the year, first term.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We've had 7 go through altogether that have been, we just take the ones that are keen to learn and, you know, choose that thing to make the menu up, what they're going to make, because they do a sweet and a savoury each week. So getting them to stay on task, trying to work out what they're going to bake. Now they've got it down to a fine art. It's bang, 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 and it's in the oven and it's out. So.
And how? Who's actually receiving your baked goods, and how are there any ways that the community can become involved in that as well?
We make sure the principal buys.
Excellent.
Territory family staff, the education staff, some of the outside agencies that work with the kids, when they found out they wanted to help out. I've got private citizens that, you know, say, you're doing anything, so I tell them. So they pay up and off we go.
So are there ways that anyone listening who might be in Alice Springs at the moment, are there any ways that they can become involved and get on the list?
Yeah, they can ring Joel up to put their order in.
All right. So Joel
And,
through the Owen Springs School. Yeah.
yeah, just if they just send us an email or ring us, we can do it. And if they don't mind waiting until after I finish work for delivery, or else they can come out and pick it up when it's done at 1 o'clock.
Oh, that's great. And I sort of heard that you had a goal of $6,000 by the end of the year, and I'm just wondering how that's going. Where are you up to?
$5,463 banked.
Wow, fabulous. So not far to go.
More to go. Yeah, so there's more to go in the bank next week. So getting there. Oh, hang on, someone else has come in the scene.
Lisa's come back.
Yeah.
I know, I just sort of randomly appear here and there, but was there anything else, Maren, that you wanted to ask Pat?
No. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us, Pat or Joel?
Yeah, Joel's coming.
Sorry, I forgot to mention it's sports day at school, so that's why I'm all painted up as well, in case people thought I just got dressed up for the webinar. But yeah, no, we just wanted to say thank you to you guys for sort of getting the message out there. You know, it's really part of why we do this is so that we can change the narrative about the young people who are in here, because there's often very negative opinions about them. And they're just kids who've made a few bad decisions, but ultimately they just want to, you know, do good things like everyone else and connect with people. And by having their story spread by you guys, it really helps us to get that message out there and hopefully make some people understand that these are just kids like anyone else who are doing anything, you know, and all these kids are out of schools before, you know, everyone's met these types of kids before. They've just made some silly choices and, you know, they're trying to do their best to do the right thing. So we also got a message, sorry.
Would you say that it's been contagious, the acts of kindness? Because we often say that kindness is contagious. So, you know, how have the young people responded to this and getting the increasing money? Like, that's a lot of money that they've raised.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like some ways it's disconnected when you're inside here because you can't like see how it's like helping people. But we try and like bring them, you know, like Pat was saying that we get the bandanas from canteen and we do like little ceremonies for the students who get involved, because students come and go. We don't have the same students with us all the time. So, you know, we have little thank you awards, and the kids are really proud of the work that they've done in that space. You know, it's something that they, you know, when it's time, when one of them gets an award, like everyone's like really excited for them. The kids are really proud of it. We had one student who, when we got the award, his family was in doing a visit, and we got to like present the award in front of his family, and he looked like he was almost in tears. He was that like proud of himself and that happy. So yeah, it's just, yeah, they can see the benefits of it, and they really enjoy contributing and doing this sort of stuff if they've just given the opportunity to do it.
And you said you had some messages from someone?
Yeah, Pat emailed canteen to ask them sort of how the money was being used, and so there's a whole bunch of different things that they do it. It's saying that it pays for 10 people who have lost a parent or a sibling to cancer to attend a weekend program to develop skills for managing their grief. In addition to that, it pays for 3 people to have a break from daily pressures of living with cancer and attend a canteen recreation day. And it also provides 2 people with 1 hour of professional online or telephone counselling as well, to sort of deal with those things. So this is a message we only just got yesterday. So yeah. Oh, Pat was just saying that she's already read it out to the kids. So the kids already know, you know, sort of the impact of the work they're doing. And that's, yeah, I know, that's something I'm really proud of. And I hope they're really proud of themselves too.
Yeah, and look, Joel, this webinar will be recorded so you can share it with young people as well. And we want to say that when this message came through to our acts of kindness, it inspired all of us, and we really liked talking about it. And I guess thank you to you and Pat too for your leadership around this, because I guess, you know, that's also helped promote it. So thank you both. Yeah, if there was nothing else you wanted to add, Joel?
No, I think that's all for us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Merrin, I'll leave you there. And our next story is also from Alice Springs. We've got Robin, a mum who's from Alice Springs, and she shared a story with us about how Maria has been running free online fitness classes for a group of young Alice Springs women struggling with COVID lockdown in different parts of Victoria. The class has been a great opportunity for them to get together online, exercise and look after their well-being. So here we've got Maria Lennox, the gym instructor at Get Physical, yes, and Robin Donnelly, a mum from Alice Springs. Over to you, Merrin, over to you.
Robin, I'm going to start with you because I was in Alice Springs a few weeks ago and shared some information about the Acts of Kindness Challenge. And I think within about 2 hours, you'd sent this act of kindness in. So, and which was really exciting and lovely. So can you tell us about, what made you think of this story so quickly?
I guess because I have 2 daughters in Melbourne and who have been in lockdown for much of the year, one of them working from home since March. And really, that lockdown experience has been pretty difficult for both of them. So when the Act of Kindness challenge was presented, I just went, yeah, that's what Maria's been doing. She's been really offering something to kids who otherwise, were dependent on themselves, very independently, their usual routines out the window. Yeah, so it just struck me as, it has been a perfect act of kindness.
Mm. And how did it come about, Maria? What made you think of doing this?
Look, I think our business was in shutdown for a few weeks early on in the year, and so that was my introduction to doing anything online. And when we've been back up and operating, no problem at all. But when these, they're all family friends of ours, and these young adults or young students, when they went back into that lockdown, we decided it would be a really, easy way to sort of support them. Also, my daughter is over in London, so she's been joining in on those sessions as well. So it's been kind of nice to reconnect with all of those young kids. Yeah.
Mm. How many young girls are involved?
So young girls and boys, there's probably about 8.
Okay. Yeah. And how amazing, because COVID has affected, particularly in Victoria and the UK, pardon me, so many people, and for young people in particular, staying connected is so important, and to not be able to potentially leave your home or your space, or I can't remember, I think it was you, Robin, was telling me about, one of your daughters is in a rural area or a regional area in Victoria and doesn't actually have connections there anyway, even if she could leave the house and go and visit. So it's so important, for everyone's mental and physical health to stay connected in that way.
Yeah, Merrin, that wasn't one of my daughters. It was one of the other connections. It was a young woman who's studying in, regional Victoria, but was living on her own. And so she didn't have the opportunity to even, be outside connecting with others. She was, living alone. Yeah.
Mm. Mm. So how do the sessions work, Maria, and how often do you have them and that sort of thing?
So we decided that we'll do them twice a week at a time. We ended up being sort of afternoon for us, at 6 a.m. in London, 4 o'clock in Melbourne. So we kind of got a mutual time, and we all just log on, have a quick hello about how our day's been going. Then I try and flog them. They're heaps younger than me, so I try and work them really hard. And we do an exercise session with whatever we can find around the house, tins of veggies or, bits of chairs and things like that. And then once we're finished off and we're stretching, I kind of pinpoint them, and they all sort of have a little bit of, well, what's your day been like, or what's going on in your space? And so they all have a quick chat about that. And then Zoom, conveniently, they only give us 40 minutes and the session just stops. So it's been a little thing to be doing twice a week. Yeah.
Mm. Mm. And have you got any feedback? I know you've been talking with them regularly, so anything that they wanted to share with us today?
Yeah, well, I actually have got a couple of messages. One was a video, so I can't play that, but I have got one I can read out. And Ella says, in what's been an incredibly challenging year in Melbourne, Maria has kept us fit, smiling, and most importantly, connected. With all other sense of routine out the window in lockdown, Monday and Thursday afternoons have always promised an opportunity to see some friendly faces and change up the types of workouts you can do in your own home with minimal equipment. Even after 4 years living away from Alice Springs, Get Physical still has such a special place in my heart. And Maria is giving us a little piece of it every week. Has been a godsend. Thanks, Maria.
Oh, nice. So, yeah, that's really, must be really nice to hear that impact that you're having for young people. That's great, Maria.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, we do feel for them, all of those kids. So it is really nice to know that it has been helpful. And I know that, I'm assuming it has been a little bit helpful because they keep coming back. So I think otherwise they'd be making excuses and saying, no, I'm sorry, I'm busy doing my hair. So yeah, it's been wonderful. We're lucky to have that chance.
Is there anything else about your story that you'd like to share with us?
No, I think that's about it.
I think Get Physical is a community gym that, you know, it goes above and beyond. You know, obviously they've got to make a living, but they certainly do a lot of great community service in Alice Springs, and that's just another example of it.
And I can tell you just by watching Maria on this webinar, her smile is quite infectious. Yeah, so I can. I could even probably get up early and deal with it, Maria. Yeah, so enjoyable for the young people. Maria and Robin, thank you so much for sharing your story. Maren was so excited when she heard this story. She's like, oh, I have to share this one with you. I have to share this one. So I'm really grateful that you were able to share that with more of us. And as I said, this webinar will be recorded. And so you can send it to the girls or you can send it to other people if you wanted to do that. Right. I also forgot to say that if anyone in any of the attendees want to ask any of the panelists questions, we can bring them back at the end and we can ask them questions. So there's a chat function on the right-hand side of the screen. So if you've got specific questions for any of the panelists, please send them through. Okay, so thank you, Maria and Robin. It was great to hear from you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do now, this is the last acts of kindness that we're going to showcase today, but we're going to play, first of all, a video that some young people from St. Francis Xavier Catholic School at Nauru at Daly River put together. It's called Mulla Be Kind. Now, we've got some young people, we've got some students who are going to be talking to us after. So maybe watch for Tanalia, and she's the one in the blue singlet, and she's one of the main singers. So she's going to be talking to us after. And JJ, she's in a blue shirt with red sleeves, and it was mainly her idea. And we've got Ali, and she's in a black and white shirt in the clip. And we've got Tamina, and she's got a green shirt on. And a late arrival, we've also got Daryl. He's one of the rappers, and he's got some sunglasses on. So we're going to play their really great video, and then we're going to talk to them after. I challenge you to not smile all the way through it. Okay, I'll mute myself, get out of here, and
Share
I'm sure you'll all agree with me that it was pretty cute and worth a smile. I'm now going to welcome Kelly Mcginley, who's the principal at St Francis Xavier out at NAU, and put Maren back online. If I can, I'll just do that. Unmute Maren, and I'll just, and I think we should see Kelly and the kids soon. Yes, and hang on, and I think we should see Maren. Hi guys again.
Hi, how fabulous was that? That was so good. Yes, I was sort of bopping away and dancing. It's hard not to keep dancing. Sorry, Lisa, did you want to say something?
No, I'm going to get out of here and leave you to it. I'll come.
Okay. That was absolutely wonderful. It was great to see you all on there. How did you come about with the idea to do this video? I believe, JJ, was it your main idea?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So where did this idea come from?
What have we been talking about?
Be kind. Be kind.
So you've been talking about being kind at school? Yeah.
And what's up around the school?
Notes.
Yeah, we had special notes up. And what could you write on there?
Seeing people helping others.
Oh, so you could see people being kind and then you wrote those up on the notes.
Yeah,
that's great. I think, yeah. And people can look at those if they want to go to our website, because we've got those up there and people can look at all those special things that you wrote about. And so tell us about the video. How did that come about? So you chose kindness as a topic, and then what happened?
Next. What did you do with Wayne?
Writing this down.
Writing all the rest of the lyrics. Yeah.
All right. So you all did that together?
Yeah, pretty much,
all
didn't we?
Yeah.
So the whole, pretty much from year 4, 5, 6, all the way up to year 10.
We're just learning in class.
Right.
If our bucket is empty, then we can't share our bucket with other people.
Right. So that's about looking at being kind to yourself first, is it? You need to be kind to yourself and look after your own bucket so that you can be kind to others. Nice.
Share the kindness.
Share the kindness, and that's what this is all about, isn't it? Sharing the kindness around. So the name of your video is Mulla, Be Kind. What does Mulla mean?
Like
Us.
Us. So everybody, all of us.
Yeah.
What a great message. All of us be kind. So what else would you like to tell us about your video? Because it was pretty amazing. It looks like you all had to have dance lessons, did you?
No.
Wow.
Yeah. Shout out to Red Dust, because it was Wayne from Red Dust that gets that all together for us, does all the mixing. They spent the whole day doing it, and then the afternoon. Only one day.
Yeah, only on one day we made
That's
them.
amazing.
Usually it takes about a week to make those videos, but that one was just one day. So they were speedy and awesome.
They were speedy and awesome. That was amazing. And it's fabulous. So that's going to be up on our website to share too. You can let people know about that as part of this. So it's fabulous.
Yeah.
And on your Facebook page. Yes, great idea.
And we have had a bit of a lasting impact in the way, I mean, it does fit in beautifully with our school rules, one of which is be respectful, but it's also the kids are using that language all the time as well. So when they catch somebody else, it's saying, oh, that's being kind, and it's an easier descriptor to describe an action rather than something a bit abstract for children as well. That, be respectful for a 5-year-old can be quite difficult to understand, but that being kind to everybody is much easier it's a much more tangible way, I think, for children to act as well. Yeah. You reckon it's had an impact on you? We talk about it a bit more, being kind, yeah, what it looks like and how we do it. Yeah.
And what it feels like too. Sorry, Lisa.
No, exactly what I was going to say. How does it feel when you're kind?
Yeah. Question. How do you feel when you're being kind to somebody?
Nice.
Happy, nice.
Like if someone be nice to me, pass it on to other people.
So if someone's being nice to you, you can pass it on to other people, and then it goes kindness goes all through the community, it goes everywhere. Perfect, Tanalia. Yeah. Yeah. And then it comes back to everybody, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, and the videos on YouTube too.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, we can share that, and we'll share it on the webinar, so you can show your friends and family if you want to. Is there anything else that you wanted to add about your video, or anything about the kindness challenge?
Anything else? Just remind everybody to be kind.
Mulla, be kind, all of us.
Yeah, that's right. Awesome.
Okay. Well,
Thanks,
thank you
everyone.
so much for being part of that and putting smiles on our faces, and we're going to keep sharing that, because I think it'll put smiles on lots of people's faces. We might even just bring everyone back on screen so that we can see all of the NT kindness people. I'm just saying that so that we can, hopefully everyone is still there.
I'll share. I think they're all getting everybody back.
And then we can see everyone there. I think the only people we've lost, I think, are Joel and Pat have gone. And
we did have Cherry. They were there a minute ago.
Cherry left. I don't know where Cherry's.
Maybe the phone maybe Cherry's phone.
So look,
there she is, Cherry.
Thank you to you all. Thanks to all our speakers and the students for putting a smile on all of our faces. The Acts of Kindness Challenge has been by far one of the nicest things that has happened in my day-to-day work life every day for the last 2 months, and same as Merryn's. You've brought a lot of happiness to all of our days. We want to keep sharing those acts of kindness. Well done, Northern Territory. I think it's great. I hope that everyone's enjoyed our Feel Good Friday webinar for Children's Week. And as I said, you can re-watch it on our website. And I'll take inspiration from Dolly's dream that says one kind word can change everyone's entire day. So have a great weekend, and happy Children's Week, everyone.
Happy children. Well done.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Well done.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. Bye.
Bye.